Hey, it's Weekly Word Outdoor Adventure Time. Glad you're here with us today. Maybe you saw the one a couple months ago, several weeks ago, when we were in Hanging Dog Baptist Church Cemetery. And while we were here, we literally stumbled over this stone and got to looking at it. And like, here's a father and two sons who all died the same day, September the 11th of 1864. So I assumed it was Civil War related, and it took me a while to find some research and get the story for these folks here. And it was Civil War related, but it wasn't a battle. Here's the story about the Gentry family. The father and the two sons were at home here in their home at Hanging Dog, and they were Yankee sympathizers, but the Confederates had circled their house and telling them to come out. Come out with your hands up. And the father said, don't look like we got any choice, but he wouldn't come out because he didn't expect, they told him if they'd come out they wouldn't hurt him, but he didn't believe them. But so they stayed in the house. Well, then the Confederates, they set the house on fire. So the father and the son, of course, had to come out, and they said, the story goes, they tied their hands with their own bed cords off their own bed, and they took them to Tematla, nearby the Tematla crossing, and they hung all three of them from a mulberry tree there. And the story goes on that the loving good family here in the community went and got them, and they brought them back and buried them here in the cemetery. And such was the Civil War in the western North Carolina mountains. Sort of reminded me of the story from Genesis 19 when Lot and his family were in the house, and those wicked people back then were surrounding the house saying, hey, come out, come out. And of course they would have done even worse to them. But it's a picture of this harsh world that we live in. You know, Christian, you go out in the world every day, and it's a hostile and wicked world out there, and it's tough sometimes. And our job is to be light in that world, to be goodness, to be loving to these people that are really the enemy of God. Many of them are, that they're on the wrong side, but most of them don't know they're on the wrong side. And we win them to the right side by being kind and loving and letting them see the good that Christians do. But that's all the more reason why you need that tight fellowship with other Christians too. And that's why God set up this community called the church. So find you a local church if you don't have one, and be there every week. God says that you need that because it's a rough world out here we're living in. And we'll see what else we can find around here. But thanks for joining us today for another trip, our second trip here to Hanging Dog Baptist Church Cemetery. See you next time.